So good afternoon, everyone. I am Diana G. Morello, the moderator from Group 2, representing the government sides in today's debate. Together with my co-moderator from the opposition sides, we will ensure that this debate runs fairly and with respect on both sides. So our motion for today is this House believes that free access to information from artificial intelligence disrupt the spiral and developmental process of learning. So in today's time, technology plays a crucial role in education. Students use artificial intelligence or AI to generate essays, research, or even solve problems with just a few clicks. So AI make learning faster and easier, but it also bring up an important point. If AI can do the learning for us, what will happen to the skills and values we built through effort and experience? So that is the idea behind today's motion. How the easy and unlimited access to AI may affect the natural process of learning and developing our critical thinking skills. Now, allow me to introduce the member of our team, our Prime Minister, Ms. Mary Jane O. Gonzalez, our first Deputy Prime Minister, Ms. Juliana Gadi, our second Deputy Prime Minister, Ms. Ria Jane Kento, and our third Deputy Prime Minister, Ms. Deborah Bata, with our researchers, Ms. Carol Cabonyalda and Ms. Raisa Sarvida and Marie Louise Adorna. So together, we represent the government sides which firmly believes that while AI offer easy access to information, it disrupts the natural process of developing independent learning and critical thinking. So for today's debate, we will follow the modified British parliamentary debate which consists of four main stages. First, opening statement. Each speaker will have 5 minutes to present their main arguments. Moderator cross-examination. Both moderator, one from each sides, will ask three questions to the other team with 2 minutes allotted for each answers. While the researchers questions, the researchers from each team may ask up for question based on the previous argument. Concluding speeches, each sides will summarize their main points and explain why their team deserved to win. So throughout this debate, everyone is expected to show respect and professionalism. Arguments can be challenged but not individualized. So no one should interrupt while someone is speaking. The moderator will keep track of time to ensure that transitions between speakers go smoothly. Now that the rules are clear, let us officially begin the debate. The Prime Ministers and first speakers of the government sides will now deliver our opening statements.
Good afternoon. I am Mary Jane Gonzalez, the Prime Minister of Group 2, standing here on behalf of the government side. In today's digital age, artificial intelligence or AI has become an essential part of education, transforming the way we learn, communicate, and access information from generating essays to solving complex problems. AI provides instant answers and simplified tasks that makes learning easier than ever. But let's be honest. Learning isn't just about getting the fastest answers. It's about comprehending, building knowledge, and developing skills step by step. We start from simple lessons, we make mistakes, reflect, and grow. And that's what we call the spiral and developmental process. But now, AI make things so easy that many students skip the learning process. Instead of helping students to explore and think deeply, AI often leads them to rely on instant information without the real without understanding the answers. So therefore, as the government side, we firmly believe that free access to information from AI disrupts the spiral and developing process of learning. So according to Roll et al. 2025, free access refers to using AI system that provides fast, ready-made outputs without proper oversight or educational guidance. Similarly to 𝐃𝐄𝐁𝐿 et al., their study highlights that unregulated AI use can reduce creativity, problem solving skills, and critical thinking, as the students may accept AI answers without fully understanding the material. And also, as the students that spend less time with their teachers and peers, the study also warns against academic dishonesty, data privacy issue, and a decline in social and emotional learning. Without supervision, AI runs the risk of eroding true learning and autonomy. Students that rely too much on AI, they skip the important steps on learning, like analyzing, reflecting, and problem solving independently. So AI eventually turns into a shortcut that limits autonomous thought, discourages effort, and decreases curiosity. Students essentially establish the habit of solving problems on their own. And even the US Department of Education in 2024 points out that unregulated AI, it weakens the social and emotional skills. Skills that are just as important as academics, and learning isn't just about the information that we get. It's also about the communication, empathy, and teamwork. But how the students learn? But how will the students learn that if they will all if all they do is talk to machines? So, and let's not forget that unlimited AI access, it can spread false information, biased, and worsen inequality among students who can't tell what's true or not. So, in short, AI might give you an answer fast, but it doesn't teach you how to think. So, nevertheless, students frequently bypass these critical phases when they're granted unrestricted access to AI generated information. Because AI generates fast, it gives an outstanding output that discourages cognitive strain. The spiral process, which is defined by the exploration of and reflection that create prior knowledge, it becomes inert. So, let me end with this. Real learning doesn't come from instant answers. It comes from thinking, trying, and even failing. So free access to AI may look helpful, but in reality, it's cutting off the roots of true education. So we stand firm that it disrupts the spiral and developmental process of learning, and if we don't act now, we'll end up with the students that who knows everything but understand nothing. Thank you.
I am 𝐶𝐄𝐿 from the opposition team, and we are gathered here today for a meaningful debate entitled Artificial Intelligence Disrupt the Spiral and Developmental Process of Learning. Before we begin, allow me to introduce my fellow teammate, our deputy leader of the opposition, Ms. Presi Jane Garcia, is a second-year Bachelor of Elementary Education student at Eastern Visayas State University. Our first speaker, Ms. Krisha Paa, is also a second-year Bachelor of Elementary Education student at Eastern Visayas State University. Our second speaker, Mr. Lawrence Virgilius, is a second-year Bachelor of Elementary Education student at Eastern Visayas State University. Our third speaker, Mr. Aldrin Bacate, is also a second-year student, Bachelor of Elementary Education at Eastern Visayas State University. Lastly, our three researchers from the opposition team are Ms. Ella May Rinumeron, Ms. Maria Lavares, and Ms. Abigail Bitasoto, who are all second-year Bachelor of Elementary Education students at Eastern Visayas State University. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you and good luck to everyone. Let's call on our deputy leader, From the opposition, Miss Pressing to have her speech.
A pleasant day to all. I'm President Jane Garcia, the leader of the opposition of Group 3, standing firmly against today's motion. Honorable adjudicators, respected members of the opposition, and dear audience. The affirmative team would have you believe that AI access is disrupting learning. They paint a picture of students bypassing the struggle, skipping the process, taking shortcuts to knowledge. But today, we stand in firm opposition because this motion fundamentally misunderstands both how learning works and how AI actually functions as an educational tool. We are not here to deny that learning requires process and development. We're here to argue that AI enhances rather than disrupts that very process. Let's talk about Brunner's spiral curriculum. The idea that we revisit concepts with increasing complexity. The proposition assumes AI short-circuits this. They're wrong. AI doesn't eliminate the spiral. It personalizes it. Consider students struggling with calculus. In a traditional classroom, they move on when the syllabus demands, ready or not. With AI, that student can revisit foundational algebra, receive explanations at their current level, then progress when truly ready. The spiral continues, it simply moves at the learner's pace. Real-world evidence supports this. A 2024 study from Stanford found that students using AI tutoring systems showed 30% better conceptual retention precisely because they could engage with material multiple times in different ways. This spiral wasn't disrupted. It was optimized. Moreover, AI provides scaffolding that fades as competence grows. Initial queries get detailed explanations, later ones receive hints and guidance. This is the developmental process in action, not its disruption. The proposition's concern about free access reveals an uncomfortable truth. They are essentially arguing that learning should be paid for. But who benefits from restricted access? Those with expensive tutors, elite schools, and educational privilege. AI democratizes the developmental learning process. A student in rural Bangladesh can now access the same quality of explanatory dialogue as a student at Phillips Exeter. A working parent studying at midnight can exchange in Socratic questioning unavailable in their community colleges' overcrowded classrooms. The disruption here isn't to learning, it's to educational inequality. And that's a disruption we should celebrate. Furthermore, AI enables learning modalities impossible before. Visual learners can generate diagrams. Auditory learners can have concepts explained conversationally. Neurodivergent students can access information without social anxiety barriers. This isn't disrupting the learning process. It's expanding who can successfully engage in it. The proposition operates from a 20th century understanding of learning. They imagine knowledge as something laboriously constructed brick by brick, where struggles equals depth. But the actual developmental process today includes metacognitive skills the propositions ignored. Knowing how to query AI effectively is itself a learned skill requiring critical thinking. Evaluating AI output demands judgment and analytical capability. Synthesizing AI-generated information with other sources requires exactly the kind of higher-order thinking Bloom's taxonomy prioritizes. A student using AI to explore the French Revolution must still formulate questions, assess response quality, identify gaps, cross-reference claims, and contrast original arguments. These are the pinnacles of the learning spiral, not its disruption. The proposition wants to protect the process, but they are protecting an outdated one. The developmental process of learning has always evolved. We move
Good day to everyone. I am Gary Juliana. As the first speaker for the government side, I strongly agree with the motion that giving people for access to knowledge from AI stop the spiral and growth of learning. Let's be honest, learning isn't about who gets the faster answer. It's about getting to knowing things, expanding on what you know, and getting better at things little by little. We begin the basic lessons, learn from our mistakes, become better, and finally grasp more complicated concepts. We refer to that as the spiral and developmental process. An AI is destroy it. An excessive number of students currently depend on AI as if it were a shortcut. They simply ask ChatGPT or other technology for answer rather than doing their own research. They skip the learning process, which include problem solving, analysis, and gathering ideas, simply copy and paste cleverness. According to a 2023 study by the University of Hong Kong, students who use AI tools excessively show lower critical thinking and problem-solving skills compared to those who learn through guided discussion and analysis. So, if anyone say AI helps students learn faster, maybe, but they're not learning better, and that's the problem. Students now produce outstanding output, but those output are empty. It's all surface, no substance. When asked to explain their work, many can't even tell you know how they get the answer because they did AI did. Let's face using AI tools really doesn't make us smarter. It makes us lazy. Creativity, gone. Original thoughts, none. We're training a generation of students who depend on technology instead of their brains. Education is supposed to develop minds, not outcomes being. Even experts warn about this. An over-reliance on AI is in classroom can weak student capacity for independent learning and intellectual curiosity. According to the UNESCO 2024 Education Report, in other words, we learn less the more we rely on AI. To be clear, we are not arguing that AI is inherently detrimental. When taken sparingly, it can be beneficial. It ought to supplement education rather than its place. Since effort, curiosity, and perseverance are the very qualities that important learning meaning. Students lose them when AI becomes overly accessible and arrogative. To sum up, genuine learning does not result from quick fix, thinking, trying, and every feeling are the source of it. While free access to AI might seem beneficial, it is actually severing the foundation of real education. We are adamant that it upsets the learning spiral and developmental process. If we don't take the action now, well, the pupil who know everything but don't grasp anything. Thank you.
From our opposition first speaker, let us all welcome Ms. Krisha Paa.
Okay, good day everyone. I'm Krisha, the first speaker from the opposition side. I strongly disagree with the motion that free access to information from artificial intelligence disrupt the spiral and developmental process of learning. On the contrary, AI supports and strengthens the process by giving every learner the chance to grow at their own pace, explore knowledge deeply, and develop the skills they truly need in this modern world. Let us first make one thing clear. AI does not destroy learning, it transforms it. Throughout history, education has always evolved with every major technological advancement. From the invention of the printing press to the rise of the internet, new tools have never stopped the learning process, but instead they change the way people learn. AI is simply the next step in the evolution. And also, the spiral and developmental process of learning means that students revisit lessons, strengthen what they already know, and deepen their understanding over time. But this process, but this process doesn't vanish with AI. It can actually improve when AI is used responsibly. AI can guide learners to explore topic in more depth, offer instant explanation, and provide feedback that helps them reflect on their mistake. Rather than skipping the process, students can revisit the concept faster and more effectively. And according to a 2024 Stanford University study, students who used AI tools as learning partners showed higher comprehension and engagement compared to those who learned through the traditional methods alone. So this finding proves that AI, when properly guided, supports critical thinking and deepens the learning process. It is not a shortcut, but it's a smart companion that helps learners stay on track. And also, the government claims that AI makes students dependent and lazy. But the truth is, laziness comes from the attitude, not from access to technology. Even before AI, and some students copied assignment from classmates or used search engines without reading it. The problem is not the tool. It's how we teach students how to use it. That's why digital responsibility and literacy are essential. When students are guided, AI becomes a bridge to understanding, not a barrier. Let's also remember that free access does not mean unregulated use. School and educator can still design policies that ensures AI supports learning instead of replacing it. So the UNESCO 2024 report on education and AI clearly states that responsible integration of AI in classroom encourage creativity, collaboration, and critical problem solving. So these are very skills that define the developmental process of education. And AI can even make the spiral learning process more inclusive. And some students struggle to understand the lesson at the same as others, but with AI, they can revisit concept in their own time, ask questions freely, and learn at their own speed. This personal and adaptive learning helps every student grow step by step, which is exactly what developmental learning is about. So we, the opposition, stand firm in saying that free access to information from AI does not destroy learning, but it enhances it. Thank you.
So now let's hear the second speaker of the government side, Priya Jane Kento.
So, good day everyone. I'm Ria Jane Quinto, the second speaker for the government side. And I strongly stand with our belief that giving people full access to AI knowledge disrupt the spiral and developmental process of learning. Let's be real. AI might make learning faster, but faster doesn't always mean better. When students rely too much on AI, they skip the struggle that actually makes learning meaningful. The spiral process of learning, that slow step by step growth, is replaced by instant answer and swallow understanding. Think different it. When a student faces a hard math problem today, instead of trying different ways to solve it, they just ask ChatGPT or any AI tool for the solution. They get the right answer, yes, but not the experience of getting it themselves. The problem is without the process, there's no progress. Our speaker already shows that real learning is built on effort, curiosity, and mistakes. I want to emphasize that those qualities are disappearing when AI becomes the main teacher. Students are no longer thinkers, they become consumers on information. Education is turning into a copy-paste routine. Data from the Pew Research Center shows that the number of young people using ChatGPT for schoolwork doubled from 2023 and 2024, rising from 13% to 26%. This information supports the point made in the speech about the increasing use of AI by students in their studies, which raises concern about its possible effect. The opposition says AI transform learning, but what kind of transformation are we talking about? A transformation where we no longer value patience or resistance. A transformation where students don't ask why, they just ask how fast. That's not progress, that's intellectual laziness wrapped in technology. Let's be honest, AI isn't evil. But when it's too much accessible, when every answer is one click away, students lost the drive to explore and discover things on their own. The government side isn't saying ban AI. We're saying balance it, use it as a guide, not as crutch. Because a real education isn't just about knowing fact, it's about building the mind. If AI keeps doing the thinking for us, we risk creating a generation that knows everything but understanding nothing. So in the end, we stand firm. Unlimited AI access doesn't strengthen learning, shortcuts it. It weakens the very foundation of education, effort, curiosity, and growth. Thank you.
Okay, from the opposition second speaker, let's call on Mr. Lawrence Cordillo.
So, good day everyone. I'm Lawrence Cordelios, the second speaker of the opposition, and I stand firmly against the motion that free access to information from artificial intelligence disrupt the spiral and developmental process of learning. So we in the opposition strongly believe that AI does not disrupt learning; it develops it. So when it is used properly and responsibly. So AI enhances curiosity, deepens understanding, and support continuous growth in education. So the government side, particularly the second speaker, said that AI makes students skip the struggle that makes learning meaningful. However, according to an article from Edutopia in 2024, effective learning is not about how long or hard the process is. It's about how much students understand and retain. So AI doesn't take away effort. It actually guides students through learning by giving feedback, explanation, and different approaches of understanding lessons. So that's not skipping the process, that's straightening it. So the government side also said that AI makes students consumers of information, but according to the World Economic Forum 2023, students who use AI tools become more curious and more engaged in exploring topics beyond their textbook. So AI allow them to ask questions, test new ideas, and connect all connect lessons, all essential in developing critical thinking. So instead of replacing curiosity, instead of replacing curiosity, AI can expand it. So the government side said AI makes student dependent, but AI supports self-directed learning, especially for students who lack access to resources or tutors. It gives them the ability to study anytime or anywhere and take control of their own progress. This builds initiative, confidence, and independence, all vital in the developmental learning process. So not all students learn the same way. So according to ResearchGate 2024, EI system can analyze how students learn and adjust lessons to match their pace and understanding. So it provides extra practice for struggling learners and deeper materials for advanced ones. So this ensures that equal opportunity for learning growth, which is the goal of the spiral and developmental process in education. So the spiral means revisiting lessons and improving understanding. So AI-assisted learning increased retention and understanding by up to 40% when students revisit lessons using adapting tools like AI. So this shows that AI support not disrupt the natural development of learning. So AI does not replace teacher, it assists them according to OECD. Educational Insight 2024, teacher who teacher who integrate AI into their classroom save time or routine tasks and spend more time teaching higher order thinking skills like analysis and creativity. So this partnership between teacher and AI creates a more meaningful, balanced, and effective in learning environment. So in all, we access to AI does not disrupt the process of learning, it develops it. So it encourages curiosity, support personalized learning, and straight the continuous growth that education aims to build. So AI helps students become independent, confident, and lifelong learners. So it helps teachers become more effective mentors. It transforms education into something more inclusive and engaging. So therefore, we, the opposition, strongly reject the motion that AI is not a disruption. It is a development. It does not destroy learning. It enhances it. Thank you and good day.
So now let's proceed to the stage two. So here's my question to the opposition side. The first Deputy Prime Minister, you compare AI to the printing press and the internet, but last time I checked, those tools didn't think for the students. So tell us, how do you stop learners from blindly accepting AI generated answer instead actually thinking for themselves? Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate the directness of these challenges. They cut to the heart of real concerns about AI in education. Um, Let me address the printing press comparison first, because I think you're actually proving my point. When the printing press arrived, critics said the exact same thing, that it would make students lazy, that they'd stop memorizing, that they'd lose the discipline that came from painstaking hand copying of text. And you know what? They were partly right. Students did stop memorizing entire books, but we don't consider that a loss today. We consider it a shift toward a higher order thinking. The printing press didn't take for students, but it did remove certain cognitive labor. Students no longer had to struggle to access information, it became effortless. And that effortless access freed them to do something more valuable: analyze, synthesize, and create new knowledge. Now, to your core question, how do we stop blind acceptance? The same way we always have, by changing what we ask students to do. If our assessments can be completed by copying AI output, then we've designed bad assessment. The solution isn't to ban the tool, it's to demand work that requires genuine thinking. Ask students to critique the AI answer, ask them to apply it to a new context, ask them to identify what's missing, what's wrong, or what assumptions it makes. Suddenly, AI isn't doing the thinking. It's providing the raw material for thinking. I answered your question. Thank you.
Okay, I am the moderator from the opposition team. So my question is, for your first speaker, you said student just copy and paste cleverness and skip the learning process. But isn't that more about how students use AI rather than the AI itself? Shouldn't we focus on teaching responsible use instead of limiting access?
That's a good point, and I agree that how students use AI matter a lot. But even if the problem comes from how they use it, we can't deny that AI makes it easier from them escape real thinking. When answering are given instantly, many students don't take the time to analyze, question, or reflect. Limiting access doesn't mean banning AI, it simply means helping students develop their own critical thinking first before they rely too much on technology. We want students to think deeply and understanding lessons, not just get the answer fast. Once students learn how to think independently, then AI can truly become a strong learning partner. It should guide students, not replace them. Teachers are students play an important role here by giving rules, reminders, and lessons on how to use AI wisely. When used properly, AI can make learning more creative and exciting, while still keeping students active and truthful. The real goal is not to stop progress, but to make sure AI strengthens education instead of replacing human effort and understanding.
So I am the moderator of government side. So here's the question. So you claim AI support understanding and strengthen learning, but if AI provides all the ready-made answers, where exactly is the struggles that builds perseverance and critical thinking? Is effortless learning is the new definition of understanding?
Okay, your question is AI provides all the ready-made answer where exactly is the struggle that builds perseverance and critical thinker, or it is effortless learning the new definition of understanding. So thank you for that question. You're right. AI can give ready-made answer, but that doesn't mean students stop thinking critically. So the struggle in learning isn't only about finding the answer. It's about understanding and applying them. So when it used properly, AI helps students analyze information and reflect on feedback and also explore ideas more deeply. So the effort doesn't disappear, but it shifts to a higher level of thinking. Because AI doesn't make learning effortless, it makes it smarter and meaningful. Thank you.
for the government side. So, my question for the second speaker, you mentioned that AI makes learning faster but not better. But if AI helps students to understand lessons more quickly and give access to extra explanations that teacher might not always provide, how can you say it completely disrupts learning instead of enhancing it?
That's a really good question. And I understand why many people see AI as something that helps students learn faster or find extra explanations when teachers aren't around. But when I said that AI makes learning faster but not better, what I meant is that real learning isn't just about getting answers quickly. It's about the process of thinking, struggling, and figuring things out on your own. AI can definitely be helpful. I won't deny that. It can explain difficult lessons, summarize information, or even give example that makes topics easier to understand. But the danger comes when students start relying on it too much instead of analyzing, reflecting, or questioning. They just accept what AI says. That shorten the learner journey, and the journey that struggle is what actually build critical thinking and deeper understanding. When everything becomes instant, we lose patience and curiosity. Student may end up knowing the answer, but not the why behind it. So yes, AI can enhance learning if used properly as a guide, not as a shortcut. But if students depend on it completely, then the true essence of learning effort, discovery, and growth slowly fades away. And that's why I still believe that while AI makes things faster, it doesn't away makes learning better. Thank you.
So again, I am the moderator of government side. So here is my question to the opposition side. So speaker number two cited a Stanford study that say AI help comprehension, but do you honestly think that every students read AI generated answers to comprehend, or they just copy and submit?
Okay, thank you for that question. So you're right that not all students read and understand AI generated answers, but that doesn't mean AI disrupt learning. It means we need to teach students how to use AI properly. So when it guided properly, student can use AI to analyze and summarize and understand lesson better. So not just copy, not just copy them. So the problem is not AI itself, but the lack of guidance and discipline. So which education can solve? AI has a great potential. It's up to us to use it for real learning, not shortcut. So that's all.
Okay, for our last question, I am the moderator again from the opposition side. My last question is, you said AI makes students lazy and dependent, but can you provide the real proof that all students become less capable, not just some who misuse it?
Okay, thank you for another questions. We're not saying that all students become lazy or less capable because of AI. What we're saying is that a growing number of students are already showing that effect, and if we continue allowing full, unregulated access, that number will keep increasing. According to the Pew Researcher Center 2024, the number of young people using ChatGPT for schoolwork doubled from 13% to 26% between 2023 and 2024. This rapid increase clearly shows how fast AI use among students is growing, and with that growth comes the risk of dependency. Many rely on AI to finish tasks instantly, often without fully understanding what they're learning. Even the UNESCO 2024 education report warned that too much AI access weakens student curiosity, creativity, and independence, all key elements of real learning. So no, not every student misuse AI, but data shows that many already are. That's why our stand is about prevention and balance. If we don't regulate AI use now, we risk raising generations that knows the answer but doesn't understand the process behind them. Thank you.